Hello everyone, my name is Aaliyah Stewart, and today I will be discussing my 10 words and how I define and can apply them in my life. I really enjoyed this assignment, and I think that the concept of defining words based on our personal experience and application is vital to our critical and creative thinking. Most of us use quite a lot of words every day, and I think we sometimes take our connotations for granted when we speak. Just as other people may not understand our personal definition of a word without an explanation, we may not always understand what others are really trying to say if we don't know their personal definitions of the words they use. Having a real understanding of each person's personal definition of the words they use and both the intonation and connotation involved is essential to mutual understanding. Truly understanding the meaning behind our words and why we have a certain perspective is vital to clear, constructive communication. Words can be powerful, and the words we say to ourselves and others can be constructive or destructive, depending on our intent or even the lack of. If we don't really understand the concepts behind our words and put them into action, then all we really have is word salad, and that can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why for my project, I chose to simulate my 10 words and the way they can clutter your mind if they aren't used deliberately. I'm using a styling head here, and each of the words is placed into the head to represent the way that the words can fill your mind, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to use them. When we give our words a specific purpose, we're planning in a constructive way. Likewise, if we speak without a plan as to what our words can accomplish, we're less likely to achieve our goal. We need to truly evaluate the words that we use and how they apply to the world around us in positive ways. Using words to express my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs is very important to me. While part of that is speaking aloud, utilizing written text helps me to understand my perceptions and ultimately the reasons I am who I am. This practice is vital to my mental well being, and I believe that it helps with self awareness and truly knowing yourself. I have chosen words that have particular relevance to me and applied my connotation to their definitions to better explain my ideas. Now, my first word is fear. Fear is the response we have to negative emotions caused by the concern that something will happen to disturb our well being, cause us pain or injury, or detrimentally affect our life. Fear negatively impacts both critical and creative thinking. If we fear failure or negative consequences, we may avoid exploration of thought that could potentially negatively affect us. These emotions may be based on what we could potentially face, are facing, or be motivated by previous personal experiences. We may also fear something about ourselves, like a perceived flaw or a negative self concept. Fear of failure can sometimes prevent us from even attempting to achieve a goal. I've dealt with this fear in my life, and it has had a negative impact on my progress and success in life. Being afraid to take chances also meant I was afraid of taking opportunities as well. This fear prevented me from improving myself and growing as a person. Now that I'm aware of the fear and its effect on my life, I have the power to choose whether or not I allow it to affect me. I may still feel the fear, but I do not have to let it dictate my decisions. I'm capable of looking past the fear to the potential positive outcomes. I can choose what I want to become and what I want my life to be, and then make decisions that propel me towards those goals if I refuse to let fear trap me in stagnation. My second word is perception. It's the interpretation we have of the world around us or specific events, topics, or people. Our reality as we see it, or how we view our sense of well being. Our perception of the world around us, and more specifically our sense of well being, can have an extreme impact on our ability to think critically or creatively. If we are constantly unhappy or under stress, it reduces our ability to learn new things and to apply the knowledge we already have. Likewise, it inhibits our creative and critical thinking and prevents us from giving our best to the situations that we face. If we're not happy with our life, or we're in a situation that's constantly dangerous or damaging, then we suffer the low potential for creativity or the ability to think critically. When I feel confident in my choices and my ability to make decisions that are ultimately beneficial to me, I'm experiencing the perception of well-being. This experience builds confidence that then allows us to think in optimally creative or critical ways. If we view the world around us in a positive way and our perceptions of life are positive, we're better equipped for constructive, critical, and creative thinking. My third word is intuition. It's the application of common sense and prior knowledge in order to make the most rational decision in a situation. In my opinion, this word goes hand in hand with fear and perception. To properly use intuition, one must trust themselves and their perception of the world around them. Like perception, if the person is constantly unhappy or in a state of stress, they will not be able to accurately apply their intuition in most situations. If a person is confident in themselves and their perception, they will be better able to accurately use their intuition to guide their decision making. When I use critical and creative thinking, using my intuition can be very important in order for me to maximize my potential. Using both inductive and deductive reasoning can be greatly improved by good intuition. My fourth word is emotion. And that's defined as feelings we experience as a result of thoughts or experiences or our instinctive emotional response to positive or negative stimuli. Emotions are the feelings we have in response to our perception of the world around us and its effect on us. Negative stimuli will usually have a negative emotional response, as positive stimuli will generally elicit a positive response. Emotions can have negative effects on critical and creative thinking if we're not aware of how they can affect our decisions or create bias in our perceptions. If I am aware of the impact of my emotions on my decisions, I am better equipped to compensate for that impact in my reactions. Logical thinking can help us regulate our emotions and make decisions based on rationality and fact, as opposed to emotional decision making. My next word is impact. And impact is the effect of certain influences on a person or situation. The impact is the result of certain experiences upon persons, places, or things. My decisions and critical and creative thinking skills can impact the world around me. The results of my reasoning can impact people or situations in positive or negative ways. When I am aware that my choices have an impact on the world around me, I can better use critical and creative thinking to make positive decisions that in turn make a positive impact. My next word is interpretation, and that's the way we understand the world around us and the information we receive. Our interpretation can be influenced by our previous experience and personal bias. When engaging in critical or creative thinking, our interpretation can drastically shape the way we perceive our argument or any counter arguments we receive. When we receive new knowledge, we automatically compare it to previously gained knowledge. This influences our interpretation of new situations or information, and we must strive to make sure that our interpretations are unbiased and accurate. If we are aware of our own biases or misconceptions, it is easier to evaluate our interpretations and make sure we are seeing the situation clearly. My next word is empathy. And empathy is the ability to relate to others' emotional and physical experiences and to care about the effect that has on that person. The use of empathy is extremely important in critical and creative thinking. Understanding how our actions or decisions affect other people or situations is vital to having a positive effect on the world around you. If I understand the impact that my choices have on the world around me, I'm better equipped to show empathy in my decision making regarding myself and other people. Now, my next word is purpose. And purpose is the reason for making certain choices or decisions, a long-term goal that a person sees as their responsibility to achieve. Knowing your purpose, whether it be in a certain situation or in life, is extremely important to critical and creative thinking. In order to apply your best thinking to an argument or idea, one must understand what responsibilities are owed to that situation and how best to apply one's thinking to the intended result. If I know my purpose, it allows me to evaluate what strengths I bring to the situation and how I can best apply those strengths to yield positive results. My next word is design. And design is an intended plan or strategy to achieve a particular goal. The specific parts of that plan or strategy that are required to achieve an overall goal, that is the design. When using critical or creative thinking, it is very important to have an intended design. To accurately apply our intuition or perception, we must know what we are trying to achieve in the long term. If I know that I am working towards a specific design or goal, then I'm able to best apply myself to seeking ideas that enable that design or goal. Now, my next word is innovation. And innovation is the application of gained knowledge in order to create something better than it was before. In critical and creative thinking, we should always be striving to improve the situations that we face. We need to possess as much knowledge as we can about whatever we're focusing on so that we can think rationally and provide as much positive input as we can in order to improve upon it. When we take that improvement and apply it to the whole, we're engaging in innovation. Now, I believe that we can apply innovation not only to the world around us, but to ourselves as well. When we utilize self-awareness and seek to truly know ourselves, then we gain the ability to see our own flaws and to think critically and creatively about how to fix them. That gained knowledge about ourselves allows us to engage in self-growth, which in my opinion is a form of innovation. I believe that each of the 10 words that I have chosen, uh, are relevant to my own life. I believe that these 10 words are relevant to my own life and my application of critical and creative thinking. And I think it's a very important that I understand how these words connect with each other as well as their meaning in order to facilitate the best plan or design for my critical and creative thinking. These words can also help me improve my reasoning and deduction skills, as well as my arguments in future situations. And overall, I've really enjoyed this project, and I hope that it has brought a new perspective to you, that you've enjoyed my presentation, and that not only has it given you a new perspective on my words, but your words as well, and how you can apply them to your own life. Thanks. Have a great day.